hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force chapters 180 and 181. When we last left our heroes, things weren't going too hot. They had met up with Joker and Lit, who were kind of persuading them to join their side of the conflict. Shinra got an Adola link where he heard Burns talking about killing Obi, or turning Obi into an Infernal. And yeah, things are just not looking too hot. Or they're looking hot, but you know. So let's jump right on into chapter 180, The Butchers. This nice color picture. Fire Force anime is now in session. Speaking of, I know the last episode was put on a hiatus because of the Kyoani fire, and I want to just extend my heartfelt thoughts to everyone affected by that. That was a really, really horrible thing that happened. But yeah, let's jump back in. Got this nice cover picture. Anytime, anywhere, Faith stands up. 3 million copies in print. We have a barefoot Shinra holding the flag of Company 8. Yeah, anyway. So our actual cover page is a face of some clown-looking dude. Yo, villain, it's showtime. Chapter 180, The Butchers. And so we open somewhere. We open back at Joker's base. As Vulcan says, the preparations are ready. This is the only equipment that we have. If the vision that Shinra saw was real, we don't have any time to waste. Oh, right. Also, the other day, this fell out of my glasses. And rather than wasting all this time dealing with me trying to put that back in, I'm just going to throw on an eye patch I made for this exact situation. So sorry about that. Hope this stays on. Alright, moving on. The vision that Shinra saw was real. We don't have any time to waste. And Shinra is just, like, thinking about what he saw. Captain Burns said he was going to use the bug. Now we are somewhere else in some other corridor with Joker and Shinra. As Joker tells Shinra, we're counting on you. And Joker, like, motorcycle kind of, like, vers to life. Okay, we'll go ahead and make our way to Fuchu, as per the plan. And Hinoa tells him, we'll catch up to you soon. And Joker zooms off to the prison. Let's go. And Hinoa straps on his little satchel. Thanks to you, even in this state of emergency, we're able to repair some equipment. This is Maki the Vulcan. Of course, I am an engineer after all. My eye is really itching and the eye patch is not helping. Sorry. Alright, where was I? And Tamaki asks Arthur, your only equipment is a sword? Isn't that a little too light? It's because I'm a knight. Good old Arthur. During your training in Asakusa, did Arthur also manage to reach Super Fire? I heard Shinra talk about his death vision. What about yours, Arthur? I spoke to Shinra about that. He was pretty surprised. And then we flash back to their conversation, and Arthur asks, you want to know how I got my Super Fire? All I did was imagine all of my save data with the highest abilities got erased. And that was his death vision? Really? Wow. If it were that simple, you wouldn't even have to trade. He's a genius and an idiot. There's a paper-thin difference of him. Yeah, he's definitely a stupid genius. He kind of like chuckles at that, and he looks up. Huh? He notices a lizard on like the side of the walkway. Is this the offspring of a dragon? If that's the case, I can't let this slide. It is an honor for the knight to be titled as the Dragon Slayer. Where art thou, dragon? And he has an image of himself facing up against a gigantic dragon. The Super Fire death vision is pretty serious. He's probably an expert at that without even trying. I'm not so convinced. And so we get back to the more serious conversation with Vulcan asking, are we going to Fuchu by foot? That's going to take some time. Joker is using another dedicated vehicle to get ahead. Still, we should get to Fuchu in a flash. And Maki, I think, asks, I thought we'd go slyly, but we're going to the Nether, right? And Hinoa asks, can Joker be trusted? You still don't trust him? If you can trust me, then you can also trust him. He is Tokyo's anti-hero, after all. Meanwhile, I guess Shinra left with Joker. I guess I misread that. And Joker, like, rides the motorcycle up a little ramp as Shinra, like, flames along. We're not actually forming an alliance, are we? Don't you remember when I asked you to join us during the rookie games? I think it's a bit late for you to be asking that. And Shinra kind of like thinks about that for a second, and Joker continues, I know you still don't really trust me yet. That's fine. The world, the country, and the people cannot be so easily trusted. So why are you cooperating with us? It's simple. As someone who lives in the dark, I guess you could call it a sixth sense. You can't afford to lose here. Obi is the person this country needs most. Shinra looks at him for a second, and when Joker continues, he's the real deal. A guy like that is capable of changing the darkness into light. Captain Obi is? Not even the Holy Sol Temple nor the Sun God can do that. Though the light I found isn't just Obi, but also you, Shinra Kusakabe. And Shinra looks at him in shock. There are great enemies waiting for us at the prison, like Leonard Burns, and the Butcher Gang that killed Hogg. Pillars have a guardian with him, right? I'll be yours. I don't need you worrying about me. I got stronger in Asakusa. I can take you or even Captain Burns now. Oh? What about Benimaru? And Shinra at that. No way. Meanwhile, back with the person with Obi. 1 gold, 2 gold, 3 gold, 4 gold, 5 gold, golden bug. Matcha Kintoki, Azuki Kintoki, Chestnut Kintoki, Matcha Kintoki. Translator note, Kintoki and Kintone are both sweets. Kin can mean gold or gold coins, so she's just saying a bunch of puns, basically. Alright. Golden bug. What shine, what pizzazz. This is the perfect bug. And the guard that's with her responds, your coins are floating. What kind of ignition power is that you do that anyway? And she, flicks a little coin to him with some flames, and he holds it in his hand. Anything can be moved with money, both emotionally and physically. Many people have even been butchered for monetary gain. But that's not why I butcher people. Then what for? I merely give them despair. Ka-ching! Meanwhile, there are some more butchers all standing around in a room as our gold-obsessed one, whose name might be Gold. I think we learned that last chapter, but don't hold me to that. The bug for Obi has been chosen. Make haste, Gold. Yep, there it is. Company 8 are not one to wait around. Whatever. We'll butcher anyone who comes. You mustn't underestimate them. One of their members appears to have defeated Assault. Oh boy, we're not bringing this back, are we? Assault had a little bit of redemption as a comedy character, but as a serious person to bring up, he's a joke. But one of the members says, what? You mean the Bloody Fire Blast? Indeed, the Bloody Fire Blast. Not to mention, I heard it was one of their new recruits. Is that so? Assault used to be a butcher himself. He was strong enough to cleanse demon infernals alone. Another one walks up behind Gold. Assault. Unbelievable. And the guy walks past Gold, and she notices him. Assault was strong. Don't fail like him. You say that to me, of all people? You're one to talk, Kinkai. Kinkai means a gold nugget bar ingot. In my presence, all things fail before me. Or have you forgotten that? Did Butchering Company 4's captain get to your head? No. Just who do you think Butcher refers to? Who is this guy? Dragon the Butcher. And we can see his face. He's bald, but he has hair on the back of his head and a beard, mustache, and what looks like scales on his arm. I'm not sure about that. Dragon the Butcher. Me. Wait, hold on. So a Butcher refers to him. I thought he was saying that Company 4 was his doing. My bad. I lost my train of thought there. Anyway, and there's just by saying that, I think there's a rattling in the room. And the two masked guys, ooh, this should be fun. He looks quite strong. Meanwhile, Burns is still looking out that window. They're here. Right then, Shinra and Joker, I've stopped moving. I'm assuming they're at Fuchu. Now, time to play heroes. We're not playing heroes. We are heroes. Light and Dark Hero Tag Team arrives. They'll overcome all obstacles to bust through the prison. To be continued for 181, Fire Incarnate, which luckily is out right now, so we're going to jump right into that before we have a discussion on these chapters. That'll happen afterwards. And our cover picture for 181 is Shinra surrounded by fish. As ever, he dives into the darkness. Chapter 181, Fire Incarnate. We have A new style of cover picture here. Looks like they've teamed up with Jaminy's Box at this point, because Jaminy's Box is also on here. There's a new translator who's I don't know if Manaphy is a member of Jaminy's Box. So Jamie is not the translator of this chapter, so that's something to take note of. So Jamie's still doing literally everything else, which is not translating. In order to rescue Obi, Shinra and Joker have infiltrated. The enemy awaiting them is... And we open on a flashback with Burns and Haumea still talking like they were in 179. Burns starts first. Company 8 are coming. This is on me. Could you all withdraw from here? I'll take care of the fourth pillar. Gotcha. And I'll tell the butchers to leave him to you. And we cut right back to the present as Joker and Shinra are still where we left them last chapter. Joker smokes a little bit. Now Shinra looks up. Why are you doing this? Oh, he looks up to see Burns. Okay, that makes sense. Because Burns is on the rooftop looking down at them. Yeah. And Burns just stares at them. Hey, look, we have matching eye patches. Not really. Anyway, and Burns looks down at them. Joker looks up. Captain Burns, why are you here? Up until now, I have lived by devoting all of my life to God as part of my mission. However, that Adola link... Ever since, I had doubted more and more the God I once believed in. And that's the one in chapter 129, which he experienced with Joker back in the Versus Salt Temple arc. But now I felt an unquestionable God in the presence of the evangelist. Such is the truth to believe. In which case, only devoting myself to that God will be how I live on. You're right in that the Adola was like the world of God. That's Joker's now calling out to him. But to someone like me, who never pledged anything to God, I don't think that was justice. And Shinra yells at him, you know the White Hoods caused the Great Cataclysm, and are trying to destroy the world. After the ruin, there is rebirth. Destruction is not the end of it. In front of God, something like people's reasoning is nothing but ego. What will become of all the people in Tokyo that you've rescued so far? And he flicks his hand. And we see Obi, who is now brought up, chained and bound. Oh shit, is this the moment Obi dies? And Shinra is shocked and angry, and Burns calls down, any sacrifice an important being. Akitaru Obi. He is a great existence that humanity will lose, but what will they gain in exchange? And Shinra is now utterly livid. And flies up. Is this how you truly feel? And he starts a kick, but Burns pretty much blocks it with his arm, and lets out this huge explosion is let out behind Burns, I guess from the after effect of Shinra's kick. And his eye patch also burns away, and he punches Shinra in the gut, and Shinra is just sent flying. And Burns is ready for another move, but now Joker is up there. And slams the ground right where Burns was. Burns barely gets out of the way. Joker gets ready for another move. And they just start going at it with their hands and palms and shit. Burns gets in a kick right at Joker's crossed arms and sends him flying back a little bit. Not as bad as he did with Shinra though. And Joker pretty much lands on his feet, and Shinra pops up right behind him, and then disappears. And he goes to try to knee Burns, but Burns catches it with his fist. And blocks him away, and now it's just a 2-on-1 fight. They're all going at it, but Joker comments, the longer this fight goes on, the more Burns' heat is going to increase. We get a look at him, and the flame on his eye patch is now way up here. I don't know if up here is off camera or not. It is off camera. But yeah. Voltage Nova. And he gets the ground around him kind of craters because of the heat, or the flames or something, and there's just this explosion. Shinra barely manages to hold on to a rooftop, and coughs as he brings himself up. Joker barely moved, he's still in the same pose, and Burns goes into stage 1. I don't know what that means, but Joker calls out to Shinra, the more time it takes, the more Burns' heat is accumulated, and the more his power increases. We won't be able to lay our hands on him anymore. Why has Captain Burns changed? Won't he even give us the time to listen? And the chapter ends with the two of them, with Burns and Shinra staring each other down. The great predecessor becomes a strong wall and blocks their way. In order to rescue Obi, they don't have the time to stop. To be continued for 182, Death and Flames. Alright, once again, Fire Force is fantastic. And, like, I'm pretty much aware this entire arc is going to be fantastic, because everything about it has just been kicking ass so far. Yeah, this series is great. It's been great for a long time, but, like, it just gets better and better as it goes on. But these are two fairly distinct chapters. The first one is very focused on everything getting set up for the attack on Fuchu Prison, which seems to be going in a very different state. They're not going to have to break in to get to Obi. Obi was brought to them so they could watch Obi die. I will say, as a result of that, I am fairly convinced that Obi will die here. I'm convinced they'll watch as Obi is turned into an infernal, and then they'll have to put Obi down. That's my theory for how the arc is going to end. And then we're all going to cry, and it'll be a big mess. But yeah, the second chapter, though, is just the fight between Shinra and Joker and Burns, which is great. I've said it before, I'll say it many times over before the series is done, I reckon. But the fight choreography in Fire Force is fantastic. It's so good, so well done, and I can't get over it. It's so good. And then, yeah, just seeing, I feel like a lot of this arc is a lot of this fight is going to be Shinra trying to convince Burns to come back to their side. I don't think Burns will, because I think for one thing, Burns will stay on the White Clad side long enough to kill Obi. He has to, I think. And once he's done that, he can't just walk right back into the good guys because he murdered Obi. And this chapter did a lot to establish how important Obi is to humanity. Both because of his leadership skills and the fact he can punch stuff really good. He is a really good punching person. And we stand. But yeah, beyond that, I don't really know what else there is to say other than this chapter is fantastic as usual. So I'm going to leave the video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like, or subscribe, or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!